I think we go live. And then maybe. Okay, there we go. Ah, very good. I think we got everything. Yes. Put, I really like these paws, but sometimes the fabric gets got, and it's hard to put them back on. I'm trying just to do stuff. Aiden, hi. Hi, Aiden. How are you? Are you doing good? I'm doing good. Had to turn down the AC here real low because if I hadn't, it was going to be very, very hot in the suit for the amount of time that I'm going to stream, which is a fair amount of time. And the subject that we're going to talk about is a little extensive, so I want to have more time to do that. And I feel like I could probably lower the camera down a bit, and they'd probably be okay. But I mean, this is okay because it's as good as it can be. At least it's not nighttime. Well, no, it's not nighttime. It's still daytime, for the most part. I'm just gonna wait and see how many people we actually get in. I had everything already set up. I just finished filming for some new content for you guys. I mean, you'll always do streams at nighttime. Yeah, I tend to stream more at night. I get more viewer interaction usually at night. 1 second, I'm gonna just adjust the camera ever so delicately. Probably this might be down just a little bit. About there. I think that'll be okay. Adjust the camera down any lower. I think it's probably gonna get a little hard to get everything in the picture. Right, to do that. Yeah, that's better. I like that a little better. Probably should have shot the whole video that I had that way, but that's okay. So how's everyone doing? Is everyone doing okay? Everyone having a good day? Yes? Yes? No? Maybe? Everest at Spyn, I love your fursuit and your videos. I wish I could give you a hug, and I'm also your biggest fan. You're my biggest fan. Thank you so much. I don't think anyone's ever tried to claim that title, but I guess you're the first on that one. I do go to events, some conventions and things. We'll be doing more of that soon, hopefully. At least myself and my partner, Inc., we will both be at as many cons as we can hopefully go to. Work scheduling and stuff like that allowing. We'll go to as many as we possibly can. So hopefully we will see you there, and you can come say hi. I'm pretty friendly, so come up, wave, all the rest of that. But anyway, thank you so much for that. That was very nice of you, very kind. But yeah, so I mean, we might not actually get a whole lot of people today. It's Tuesday. It's not any later than that, but that's okay. We're still going to talk about stuff. So what I kind of wanted to talk about is fursuit auctions and fursuit prices, things like that, and the ideology of owning a fursuit and not owning a fursuit, and how that can make you feel, just in general, as it comes to being in the fandom, and why that that can be a bit of a problem for some people, and for other people, not so much. Some people care a lot, some people don't really care hardly at all, and the differences of that. There's a lot of nonsense I want to cover. Fursuit auctions being something that's a bit more of a trend as of recently, especially with big name makers, because they fully are completely and totally aware that they can, in fact, they can drive up prices of their fursuits that way. And not to say that they aren't well within their rights to do so, because they definitely are. And if you're willing to pay that much money for that fursuit, then that's what it's worth, regardless of whether or not you could spend that money on something else, or you could be donating that money to charity, or whatever else, kind of reasoning that people want to come up with. The reasoning is, in a sense, flawed, because that reasoning is kind of based in the ideology that you should be a philanthropist first and worry about what you want second. And that's all well and good, but being altruistic in that nature, or being purely altruistic to the point where you deny yourselves the things that you want, is a bit ridiculous. It really is. It's not just a bit; it's a lot ridiculous, because no one is completely altruistic. No matter who you are, no matter how good you are, no one does anything for completely selfless reasons. It is nigh on impossible to get away with that, because at some level you feel good about a thing. And because you feel good about that, and the serotonin is released in your mind, then you do those things for those reasons. Pardon me. This is material. Is the material expensive, or the amount of labor of the fursuit? Well, the thing about it is the labor-intensive nature. You're paying for quality. You're paying for a quality item that is made by, effectively, as close as we have to masters of a craft in the furry community. And I'd go so far as to say that they would be considered masters outside of the furry community if you apply the skill involved to people like multicolored bark or something like that. So these people create massively complex and high quality costumes. Now, they've been doing this for a long time. That is their time honing their craft. They are intensely skilled at what they do. So you are paying for not just their time, but their expertise, and their expertise costs them time learning. So you're paying this larger chunk of time than you might think. And also, when you break down the price of the materials and what the suit costs, used to be the cost of a suit was for a digigrade suit. I think it was about $5,000, maybe $6,000, maybe up to $8,000 was like super high and like ridiculous. $10,000 was ridiculous. And this was several years ago. Now, that's not similarly the case. Now, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, it's considered reasonable for a suit. And the reason being is that when you broke down the materials cost, which the materials don't cost nothing, the cost for the head base and all the rest of that, if they don't make it themselves, how long that takes, the materials plus the time, if you broke everything down, they were paying themselves less than minimum wage. You were paying a quality maker less than minimum wage to do your work for you. This was a bit of a problem. And so they started doing fursuit auctions and things like that. And the prices were whatever people wanted to pay for them. So whatever you think is viable for a spot is fine. I think recently a fursuit spot sold, or a commission spot sold on Dealer's Den for I want to say $50,000, maybe $70,000, And some people will say, oh, well, that's ridiculous. And maybe it is. And there are two things here. There's things involved here that are very. It's a dichotomy of thought that you have to really keep in mind when you're looking at that. One is, again, it is paid for by people that have the money to pay for it, and they believe it's worth that. Therefore, that's what it's worth. In a free market, whatever someone is willing to pay for something is its value. End of discussion. That's what it is. Nothing is locked and steady in the furry community. Do I have a message? I do not. Nothing is locked and steady in the furry community whatsoever. Now, some people may argue and say, well, that's too much. Well, maybe it is for you. That is too much for you to pay, and you would never pay that. And maybe you're right. Maybe people should not pay that much money for a fursuit. But someone out there did. So that's on them. That's not on any of us. That's on them. The only problem I see is that the more makers that follow suit, let's see, to be fair, I would pay good money for a high quality fursuit. And of course you would. You're going to pay for expertise. And I do not think that they should be paid less than minimum wage. $50, $60, $70, $100,000 for a fursuit, you're getting to a point that unless that money is just nothing to you, I just can't imagine doing that myself. But someone obviously could, and they had enough money to do so. So that suit is worth that amount of money. And there's nothing we can say about that other than that's what it is. The only problem that we may come into with doing it this way is that more and more fursuit makers, especially high-end fursuit makers, will go exclusively auction, which means they will no longer open up for queues with a set price. They will only do auction. And they will only do auction because that they know that they can drive that price up higher, that they themselves would never ask for $20,000 for a fursuit. But if they put it up on auction and they're popular enough, someone will pay it. So those two commissions that would have been $20,000 is now more like $40,000, $50,000, or $100,000. And that's where we get to the point where we start to price people out of fursuiting. And but it may have an unintended positive effect, because if the really, really popular fursuit makers are going to go high-end only, which means that unless you've got $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, don't even talk to us. You know, we'll put it in the auction, and if you don't have that money, go away. Let's see. Salvi and Fussy Drake. Hello. Hey, how's it going? I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing well. We're talking about fursuit auctions and fursuit prices, and how fursuit auctions can inevitably end up pricing people out of high-end fursuits, like just as it is. High-end fursuits have always been pricey anyway, but they're getting more so. Now, let's see. One second. Everest at Spyn, I have some exciting news to announce off the bat. First off, on June 7th, I finally got my learner's permit, and now I'm driving. Congratulations. That's awesome. I hope that's working out really well for you. Let's see. But so here's a thing. Let's see. Engineer, as a maker, I personally think spending more than $10,000 on fursuit is crazy. That may be so. Here's the thing that we might want to keep in mind, and this is just from a small thought process I've had of thinking about this. So if we understand that larger makers or high-end makers or very popular makers are only going to do auctions, and those auctions are likely to go $10,000 plus, maybe even $20,000 plus. And if you don't have that kind of money, you're just not going to get it. Sorry, there's someone that's willing to pay at least $1,000 more than whatever you're willing to pay. And that's just how that is. So if that's the case, then this creates a power vacuum, in which case they're not going to ever be open for commission slots ever again where you know the price. And so they may be just out of the question for you. But newer upcoming makers could, if they wanted to, and if they did this, they would be real big brain, big boy time, smart. If they were smart, they would capitalize on that power vacuum and immediately post up that they won't be doing auctions, but they will issue an absolute price for their suits, and they'll open up their commissions the way that those guys did before they started doing auctions only. Now, this is not to say that big names won't start doing auctions again, because maybe they will, or stop doing auctions and start doing what they did previously, because maybe they will, maybe they won't. We don't know yet, but the trend is put your stuff on auction if you're a big name, and that $10,000 fursuit magically goes up to 20, and maybe 30, and maybe 40, and now, I am not going to hate on them for making money because they deserve it. They've worked hard to get to where they are, and they deserve to make as much money as people are willing to pay them. So I'm not going to hate you for that whatsoever. However, we are getting into a point that this creates an issue for individuals that do not have $30,000, $40,000 to spend on a fursuit. Fursuits are luxury items. But at a certain point, we have to take into account what the value is of the materials being paid or being bought. And then we need to take into account the value of the skilled craftsmanship of that person for a unique piece of art. And then we need to look at the per hour rate that we are paying them for that and decide for ourselves, not for them, because they are free to do what they want. We need to decide for ourselves what's a fair price to pay someone for their talent and their skill. Engineer, I mean, if someone is willing to shell out the cash, great. But I feel like encouraging spending at such a extensive degree is no bueno. If you're willing to do that and you've got the excess cash, that's fine. But for most people, $60,000, $70,000 is life-changing amounts of money. So I'm not sure about all that. But that is our problem. That's our issue right now. And our issue with the fandom is that, as Fussy Duck is saying, I don't think it's about quality anymore, and it may not be about quality anymore. I can't say that to be absolutely sure that it's about that. But the joke used to be, if you got a Autumn Falling suit, it came with 10,000 followers. That was the joke. And so some people are willing to buy those suits, the high-end ones, or the big-name makers, because there's a certain amount of clout that you're buying too. And people are less interested in getting their character made by the maker that makes them the best for the design that you want, and they're more interested in making sure they have that Gucci name tag. And maybe that's it too. Now, I can't be sure about that, but I mean, there are people that buy Gucci just because Gucci, not because it's the most comfortable or the best, but because the name is attached to it. And we know that psychologically people will do that. And these makers have maybe wisened up to the fact that, you know, some of them are Prada and some of them are Gucci. And we know it. And we're willing to shell out big coin for that. Let's see. Engineer, I got to get my name brand Nike fursuit for my clout following. Yeah, no kidding. True, it's not about the suit; it's about the range you get with it, and that's true. I am personally would love to have a autumn falling suit or multicolored bark now. My mistake, and I would love to have one of their suits. Now, their suits are at least $10,000, if not more. Usually more. It's going to probably be high up there. I think the last time that they did an auction probably went for about $14,000 at least. And maybe that's, and for some people, I used to think that was crazy, but, if you got the money, spend it. Let's see, engineer. I'm not of the opinion quality will always supersede price, but then again, I'm willing to make my own stuff and so maybe just built different. And that becomes kind of an issue as well, is we have that issue. But again, engineer, you are a smaller maker, and you can take advantage of the fact that the big name makers are going to do auction only for their stuff for a while because, well, the money's too good not to do it. It really is. And I cannot blame them for doing it. The money is too good. It's way too good. When you can possibly hit $50,000, $60,000, are you kidding me? Some of these makers have student loans to pay off, and $50,000, $60,000 just wipes away maybe half of that, maybe all of it. It's crazy. Why wouldn't you? Why would you not do that? So I can't blame them, but at the same time, I can't help but feel a sense of loss and feel a sense of, well, this is how this is going to be from now on. And if you don't have the bigger bucks, you're out of the fan club, kind of thing. And, that's all they're going to cater to. And that's okay. So long as they can reliably do that, then that's a business model that works. And I can't help but say that that's not necessarily a good thing to a certain degree, because for a long time, these makers have been kind of scratching by. And for them to hit the big time, I'm not going to sit here and shit on them for hitting it. I'm not. I'm just not going to do it because it's not fair to them. It really isn't. Let's see. Though I know this is not fair, but most furries are kind of poor. Some furries can be less like financially stable than others, we should say. But it is what it is. And there's the ideology as well that if you don't have a fursuit, then you're not really fully experiencing the fandom. You're not at that apex, because people associate fursuiters as higher tier than non-fursuiters. If I had a channel that didn't have cutesy fursuit, I think my numbers would be kind of cut in half, probably. More than likely. Hardly anyone would care about what I said, what I did. But cute fursuit, and then that'll take you a long way. And there's no denying that. We can't sit around and talk about it like it doesn't happen, because it does. It does happen. And it happens a lot. But is it an issue? Is it not? Maybe that's something that I could talk about on a new segment that we're running. Is there a problem here, where we talk about issues in the fandom and whether or not there is an issue or there's not an issue, and I present both sides, and then I let you guys talk about it in the comments, and you guys decide, is there a problem here? Yes or no? And I think that that's good. We just finished shooting the first one. That should be up sometime this week, I think. Let's see. Also, we only talk about auction slots, or are we talking about pre-mades as well? Pre-mades are an entirely different thing. When people start doing completely pre-mades only, it starts to be less about your character coming to life. And that I kind of have a bit of an issue with. I'm not saying that you shouldn't make pre-mades. Far from it. Make pre-mades. Spyn was a pre-made. This version of Spyn is a pre-made. Version 2 will be custom. But this was a pre-made. I started my whole thing on a pre-made, so I can't hate on pre-mades. Lemon Brat is like the pre-made like vendor at conventions. They bring so many pre-mades. If you want to get into fursuiting easy and quick, go to Lemon Brat because they can do it for you. They absolutely can. Now, is it going to be same quality? Is it going to be unique enough for you? Maybe, maybe not. I can't really say, but I do know that they're willing to make changes and alterations for you. And so if you're willing to do that, then great. Go ahead. Let's see. Fussy. Yeah, and you're right about your channel and your fursuit. I'm part of the problem, and someone I hate myself for more likely watching fursuit content. And it's okay to watch fursuit content because there's something appealing about it. Because we want to watch the cutesy animal do the things, and we go, oh my god, oh, cute. Like we like that. And there's nothing wrong with liking that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with liking that. The problem becomes, the reason that we like it is the same reason that we like furry stuff in the first place. It's anthropomorphic talking animals. That's what we like. That's what we're here for. And that's what this is. This is real life anthro. That's why we like it. That's why we want to see more of it. That's why we like all the rest of that. It's not actually difficult to see it. That's just what we like. Engineer, hey Spyn, go eat Korean candy and fursuit for clout. No, I am not doing that. I'm not going to be like, Spyn tries random candy. Oh, here's another unboxing. Here's some other things that take absolutely no skill. It's just like I said before. It's just like, it takes no skill to write one of these. It's like an unboxing or maybe cereal. But then cereal, you have to open the box. Could I do an unboxing of cereal and also a taste testing? Because I am unboxing the cereal after all and taste testing. Does that mean I get twice the views? Who knows? There's something about that basically Smack says it works because the algorithm says so, but it's dumb. It's completely dumb. And it's not anything creative. It's nothing that no one's done before. And of course, we can go back to the line that every story's been told before. Also, quick note, Scoop, go back in your box, stay there. But yeah, it's different, it's odd and it's perplexing, but we're willing to pay this kind of money to be part of this club. 15 minutes, Scoop. I'll let you out in 15 minutes. Just, you can talk again in 15. Just draw a box with some chalk and sit in the box. I keep hitting the mic. Draw a box with some chalk and you sit in the box. 15 minutes of quiet time. But yeah, it's amazing what we get when we start to examine what it takes, what it takes to be popular in this fandom. Because it does take money, it takes time and expertise. You need to be an artist, you need to be a fursuiter, you need to be a YouTuber, you need to do something that puts your name out there constantly. That's what you have to do. Let's see, Fussy Drake. Yeah, but seeing how Majira is riding the wave, too many people come to the realization that it's all been there before. Yeah, people do come to the realization, pardon me, that it's all been done before. but people still do it. People will still do it. You know, I've done unboxing videos before of characters, but I mean, it's nothing special. It's just it's sharing excitement with another person. And that's what unboxing is. Unboxing that new thing is a certain level of dopamine hit, and we all like it. And it's really a psychological drug. So we enjoy it and we want to see more of it. So yeah, it's no wonder that works. And we want to see people try things because we subconsciously want to see people either enjoy something or hate something. And we want to laugh at them or be part of that experience with them. So it makes sense why those things work. They're just not particularly hard content to make. Let's see. Maybe not eating Korean snacks. What about trying to speak Korean? That takes skill. Learning a different language or watching me through my endeavors to learn programming and hacking and things like that, that might be more fun. That might be more skill. And that could also be beneficial to you in other ways. Let's see. Engineer, I'm glad I could still rally you up with that. On another related note to club exclusiveness, are you going to any cons this year now that some are officially opening, i.e., what is it? Aquatifer? Aqua Antifer? I don't know how to say that, but yeah, sure. I mean, I might go to. I'm going to be going to conventions again as soon as I possibly can. Like as soon as they're open and I can go to one, I definitely will. Again, it's going to be about whether or not I have the time to do it, and that's a big thing. I mean, new people not realizing it's been there before. New furries on YouTube. Yeah, new furries on YouTube are going to probably take the same path. I didn't. I'm not really done that. That's not really my channel. That's not really what I do. But that's okay. I want to see Spyn paint my Warhammer minis for me. Paint your own Warhammer stuff. I'm not doing that again. I've already painted my stuff. You can paint your own. Let's see. Remy, I'm thinking of branding my persona as a geography, language, and culture fox on TikTok. Any thoughts? You can. You can brand yourself as pretty much anything you want to. It's just you know, it's just going to be very specific. And TikTok is TikTok has some serious security concerns for me, along with some other things that concern me pretty seriously about their security. But if you really want to do TikTok, then yeah, you could probably try to do something unique and interesting with it. Let's see. Yes. So a lot of my issues with this is it's kind of a circular, kind of thing. It's this Ouroboros that feeds into itself, right? And I think, on the whole, that most of our problems in the in the furry community can be laid at the feet of us thinking that we require certain things to be part of a group. And if we don't meet those standards, then we're not allowed to be in that group. And that is disappointing. I'm disappointed in us because of that. But I think that we can rise above that and be better on the whole. Scoop, I thought you're supposed to still be in your box. But it's difficult for me because, I do fursuiting and, I obviously can afford fursuits and, preaching that you don't need one when you have one is like very, very wealthy people saying you don't need money to be happy. You know, it's easy to say so when you have it. It's harder to say so when you don't. And I know that. You really do not need what I've got to be in the furry fandom, but I can understand wanting it. I can totally understand wanting it. And yes, there is no feeling like fursuiting. Absolutely none. The good and the bad. I have never been so hot and miserable and so excited all at the same time in my entire life. Let's see. Peer pressure and belongings. Societal issues that are way worse than just the furry fandom. Yes, that's true. It's beyond that. Grass is greener on the other side mentality. Yes, and a better society is always found elsewhere. Points if you get the reference, points if you do. I will give you 10 points of imaginary spin points if you know where that's from. Type it in the comments down below, and I will see it. Let's see. Do you think or have already noticed that social skills have decreased because of the pandemic? Will it impact the fandom? I find that the fandom, a lot of people in the fandom tend to be socially awkward anyway. A lot of us are socially awkward, myself included. I can be socially awkward when meeting people, and sometimes I can and cannot. It just depends. Uh, let's see. Furry, was it furry stickers? It's hard to see through all of this. Hello, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. Hope you are too. Um, yeah. But it comes to a point where we have to start deciding on what is important and how much money are we willing to pay to be included. How much is too much for any one of us? And that's a decision that we each have to individually make. And I really want to caution everyone, if you are thinking of buying a fursuit instead of food or rent or anything like that, if you have financial responsibilities that would preclude you from doing so, and you're just like, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway, I urge you, please do not do this. Please do the things that are adult first. Do your adulting first, and then if you can save the money for it, then and only then, please go out, get yourself a fursuit. Then, when you have disposable income that you can spend on these things, because this is just like, it's a luxury item. I don't need it. You know, just what it is. I am happy I have it, and I'm happy to buy others that I can, but I am in a situation financially where I can afford to do those things. And where it may hurt not to have one, starving will hurt a lot more. So please, I don't want to see anyone hurt themselves or send themselves into financial ruin just to feel part of the club. And that's what the furry community kind of does sometimes, is that we almost subtly encourage people that if you don't have a fursuit, then you're not really a furry, but it's kind of dumb and it can be dangerous. So, and with fursuit prices going sky high, a lot of people, might make some very reckless decisions, thinking, well, I better get it now before it's even higher. And that could end in disaster. And I just don't want to see that happen. There's always new makers, and there's always up and comers that make fantastic stuff. And you don't have to buy Gucci just to be a part of the fandom. You really don't. So let's see. Why does there have to be a money entrance fee to begin with anyway? And there's really not, honestly, if we think about um, uh, the fact that being a furry just means you like anthropomorphic art. You liking something costs you nothing, shouldn't cost you anything. But the feeling that we have amongst ourselves because of how the furry community is right now, it begins to get kind of ridiculous, you know? That we need that. We need this more. We have to have the fursuit. We have to go to the conventions. We have to do these things. And if we don't, well, we're just not, we're missing out. And that missing out is where you get trapped. That's where you get trapped. That's where they get you completely. And once that's the way it is, and I think that it might be a little too late to turn back from that point because we're there. Ooh. Oh, I don't know. Something else. Just want to say your suit is cute. Thank you so much. Let's see. Let's see. Hey, drawing is fun and pencil is less than $1. Yep, and that's true too. Everything costs. Some things cost time. Some things cost money. And again, fursuits are what they are. And I just want to put that out there for you guys. That yes, I may be a hypocrite for saying you shouldn't have a fursuit or whatever and having one. But if you can afford it, great, go get yourself one. But make sure you can afford it. Because right now, the median cost for a fursuit is between $5,000 and $10,000. So if you can afford to do that for a full digigrade, maybe you can start smaller and just do the head, do the rest of that. But a full digigrade is going to cost you between $5,000 and $10,000 at current. So if you can do that, then okay. But you know, there are other things that you can do to be a part of the fandom. You don't have to do it this way. You really don't. And I wish you guys all the best when it comes to this kind of thing. But I just don't think that it is necessary on the whole. Let's see. Did I miss anything? I probably did. I'm sorry if I'm missing stuff. I want to talk about this. I want to get this off my chest. I want to talk to you guys about this because it's so important. You know. But anyway, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna strip out of this, and I'll be right back with you, and we'll finish this whole thing up. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go break some magic. Okay, so just to finish this stuff off, we got about 15 minutes left in my streams. I only usually do about an hour for you guys, and I'm happy to do more of that in the future. Right now, it is very hot where I live, and the AC is working very well, but it still gets very hot in these, and 45 minutes is about how long I tend to try to stay in before I take a bit of a break. So when it comes to fursuits in general, again, they're great and I like them a whole lot, but I really just want you guys to keep in mind that it is not the most necessary thing in the world for you to have that. Let's see, furry stickers. I prefer rubbing up on a fursuit rather than looking at it. I guess the looks come first. That's weird, furry stickers. Uh, um, Although I see you have a Cosmic Wolfie icon. Although I doubt very much that Cosmic is in chat with me right now. But you know, OG Cosmic fanboy, like really liked his content a lot. Very funny guy. I've gotten to meet him a couple times, and do like a small bit with him once, and that was really cool. And I liked that a lot. Yeah, but yes, please do not rub random fursuiters. We don't appreciate it the way you think we might. It's just not really something that, at least I don't want it. And you should always ask before. Yeah, Cosmic hasn't got the copyright on gray and blue. He doesn't, but unless I miss my guess, that's Cosmic right there. And I know what Cosmic's fursuit looks like, and I also know what his icons look like, and that looks like Cosmic's icons. And I may be wrong, maybe I'm wrong, but that looks like Cosmic's icons. But you're right, no one has a copyright on anyone's colors, but the patterns, it's questionable. There have been people that have done things with people's patterns, people's personas that not been great. You know, may look like him, not okay. I suppose not, maybe not. Just drop that. Just check that real quick. I just want to see what Cosmic looks like. Maybe I'm just remembering him wrong. Let's see. Cosmic Wolfie. Yeah. Yeah, the problem is that it may look like him, and it 100% does look exactly like him. Like a lot, like down to the hair floof. And yeah, I can't really see much of that. And let me just get closer to the screen and I can kind of see. It kind of looks like that DH Gate like version that got passed around for a while. So I think DH Gate did a copy of his suit. But yeah, maybe so. If DH Gate did a copy of it, I think that it was them. I can't remember who did it. Either way, you're free to do whatever you like, man. People do whatever they want anyway. I'm just saying that it looked an awful lot like him, and it reminded me of Cosmic. Because the I think it's the colors and the markings and all the other. I mean, it's cool, dude. You do whatever you want. And just saying, I know you're not Cosmic. I just saw that you had a like the icon right there, and it looks exactly like him because the markings and the fur and the hair floof and the ear floof is exactly the same on that. But I know you're not Cosmic. I don't think that Cosmic even follows me. Does Cosmic even have a YouTube? I think he started going to do TikTok. At least the last time that I talked to him, I thought he said he was going to do TikTok. But it's been a while. Probably last time I talked to him was MFF, the last MFF that we had, like 2019. Was the last time. Yeah, he does TikTok. Oh, okay, cool. It'd be a shame if he just let his skills die, because his skills were like uh were really good, and he had great punchy skits, and a lot of it like inspired me to do stuff, and you know made me want to be a content creator anyway. Um, to a certain degree. I just never really could like take that next step and actually do it. And luckily, Artemis was the one who did that. Yep, just because I like the colors, please don't label me. I'm not labeling you because you like the colors. I'm labeling you because your color palette is exactly the same, and also the markings are exactly the same. That's why I did that, is because it's like exactly the same. And maybe it's just because the icon's very small and I can't see the details on that. But I'm looking at a picture of Cosmic. I'm looking at your icon, and I mean, fuck me if they don't look exactly the same. And maybe there's slight details that I just don't see in that. But I'm not gonna like, you know, I'm not gonna like call it like I see it on that. So sorry, dude. Okay, maybe we move on. It's my channel. I'll move on when I damn well please. You can, you can like it or you can jog on, man. Like I'm not here to insult you, but I am going to talk about a thing that I find funny or amusing. We good? Bye. I'm not going to I'm not gonna like bash someone hard about something, but it looked very much exactly the same, unless I am just unless I am just, am I wrong on that? Am I wrong on that? Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I don't think so. But I don't think I'm wrong on that, because I was fairly sure, dude. I mean, like, I don't know, guys. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong here, but like, let me just let me just put this up here. Like, this is Cosmic, and that's that guy's profile, right? Am I am I insane? Because here's a shot of the head, and I don't know if you can see that. It's a bit weird, but yeah, that's a shot of the head. That looks exactly like Cosmic. Wow. But I think he was just trying to get away with like grabbing someone else's icon and using it, and saying this is an original character. But it's not. I don't want to be mean about this shit, but also you don't get to tell me what I talk about on my channel. If you don't want to be here, you can leave. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry. No, dude. Jog on. But we have about 5 minutes left, so we're going to do some questions. For the next 5 minutes, you're welcome to ask any question that you want, regardless of what it is, and I'll answer as best as I possibly can. So for the next 5 minutes, please. What's my social security number? It's private. But if you do have any questions, now would be a opportune time to do so. Go ahead, ask away. I will do the level best I can. And if it sparks a conversation, awesome. That'd be great. Let me just turn that down. And let me just check a thing. Let's see. But yeah, I like your confidence, but at the same time, was unnecessary to talk about. I mean, maybe so. Maybe was unnecessary to do so. But at a certain point, we start to see people kind of take people's icons and just, you know, um, you know, just decide that you can just take that and it's mine now and I'm this person now. Like, no, I mean, no, dude, like, make your own thing, at least make it different, at least change something about it. And, you know, it was interesting, but, um, it's probably on, on the whole, I mean, maybe I could have handled it better. He's probably a fan or something. Maybe he was. Maybe he was a fan of Cosmic. Um, but I don't necessarily like. I'm not going to basically say like, oh, well, yeah, maybe I'm just wrong about a thing when I'm like, dude, that looks exactly the same, and I don't know. Um, I'm not trying to like piss the guy off, but like also you do not get to tell me what I can and cannot talk about on a live stream. If you don't like it, you may leave. Um, you know, but that's just what it is. I wish the guy the best, but also at the same time, it looked very much like that. But that's just what it is, and he can, he probably will never be back, and that's okay. But at the same time, things are what they are, and whatever the case is, I hope he I hope he does well. While you were giving that guy much crap about that, I mean, not extensively until he started saying like, yeah, it's just like, don't label me that. Like, I'm not labeling you that. I'm just saying it looks exactly the same. So it's all right. And he can hate me if he likes. It's okay. Most nasty furry you are. I don't think so. I'm unsubbing. Okay. And that's okay, but it's all right if you don't necessarily like me for that. But also I'm not going to say that what I did was like the most over the top thing ever. It just wasn't. And we got about a minute left. Um, all right. I'll address this because it needs to be. I probably snapped at the guy, and that was my fault, and I shouldn't have snapped at him in such a way that was that much. But I took umbrage with him telling me what I could and couldn't talk about on my show and on my channel, and that was probably a step too far. and I don't think he's still watching, but I apologize. That was probably too far. You know, at the time I thought it was all right. He wasn't trying to pass himself off as it. I just, you know, I thought it was exactly the same logo and all the rest of that. But I will say this. If he does watch this again or wants to watch it again, I apologize. That was too far. I took that too far. I should not have been so mean to the guy, just because it wasn't right of me. And sometimes we all do things that aren't the right move. And, you get irritated. You say something you probably shouldn't. It's a live stream, and I know better than to do that. And I did it anyway. So I apologize, not just to him, but to everyone else. That was too far of me. I should not have done that to that guy whatsoever. I don't have a way of reaching out to him and apologizing, but if I did, I would. And say, like, look, that was uncool of me. I'm sorry. I should not have done that. But that's all I can do. I know it won't help anything. It won't fix anything, but that's all I can actually do is to say, I'm sorry, and that should not have happened. So what we are going to do is I'll try to find his stuff. If he has a way to contact him, I will personally contact him and apologize to him as much as I possibly can. It was not cool. And I should not have done so. So it wasn't a fair thing to do to someone just because I thought it was funny. It wasn't. And then I got upset at someone just because they wanted to move on. And that wasn't cool either. So yeah, that's the best that I can do on that. But I mean, I don't know what you guys think that I should do about that, but I don't think that it was. In retrospect, I do not think that was right. And that what we're going to do is we're going to turn this into an object lesson, because this is the only thing that can be done that's positive about it. There is no right and there is no wrong. But what we need to do from this point, and this is what I can do from this point. Yes, it was mean, and I should not have done that. And the problem is that, if he was here, I would apologize to him, but I can't apologize to him because he's not here. But here's what we can do. If Furry Stickers is watching still for whatever reason, I am sorry. That was uncool. I should not have done that. I should have just worked around it and said, yeah, dude, no problem. Let's just move on. Not a big thing. But it's just what it is. And I think that what we have to do is when you make a mistake, you have to apologize for it. You have to do something to try to solve the issue. Let's see, going to defend Spyn here for a sec. Yeah, what he did was wrong, but we all do something wrong sometimes. He's human, just like us. I've said things I shouldn't have. Two, it's just one of those moments. Yeah, and it was one of those moments. But again, yeah. But anyway, I see it as wrong, and I've apologized because I don't think that it was a snap decision, and I should have just let that go and not worried about it and not seen it as something that it probably wasn't at all. But this is just one of those situations that sometimes it happens. Sometimes people make mistakes, and I've apologized for it, and I'm going to move on and try to be better the next time around. And if I can, I will try to find this person, and I will try to message them and personally and profusely apologize to them for the way I acted, because it was not right of me to do so, nor was it cool, nor does it send the example that I want to send to all the people that watch me. So I'm sorry that I had a moment that was not what you guys come to expect of me, and I will be better going forward. And that's all I can do for you guys. So I'm sorry to all of you that I can't apologize to. But we are going to move on from there. And since I've spent that time and I took your time, I'm going to add another 5 minutes where you may ask me anything that you like, no matter what it is. I'm not answering that, Scoop. And we got about 4 minutes left of that. And then we can move on. Okay, well, I have a question. How was your day so far? It was great. Other than what just happened, it was pretty much good. Got actual filming done. Got a lot of stuff fixed, and working towards doing better things in the future. So yeah, I mean, other than that, it was good, and I'm not gonna let that one incident like wreck my entire day or anything like that. That's not gonna happen. I won't let that be something that I do. I know I'm typically more active, but I kind of have this on in the background right now. No, that's fine. I understand. Hmm. Nice. Well, I just finished one of my tracks today. That's awesome. It's always good to get stuff done, especially when it's creative, and it motivates you to do even more. Do you play Warhammer? I used to play Warhammer. Used to play Chaos Undivided. Um, but I don't anymore because it's just a lot of money to spend on tiny figures. Uh, Alex, man, I see you coughing a lot every time you do a live stream. I do. I have sinus issues that really suck. Why is ammo so expensive? Ammo is expensive because a lot of people are buying it, and the means of production is hampered because of the um, the pandemic. So lower production rates drives up prices, and the higher the price goes is due in fact to the shortage of ammo. So that's how that happens, and that's okay. Let's see. Copy that. Okay. Uh, one box of 30.6 under $5, under $50, please. Yeah, basically. I'd like to supply. I like the supply and demand. Low supply, more demand means like the prices goes up. Yeah, pretty much. Um, oh, actually, did you get the vaccine? Just out of curiosity, I did. I got Pfizer. Um, had 2 shots. First shot was fine. Second shot almost completely put me under. I was out for like 2 days, solid. Just everything was chills and body aches and fever and you know just a little bit of everything. Yeah, it wasn't great. It was not great. Um, yeah, Pfizer was the one that I wanted because it had the most chance to block transmission uh, of uh, of COVID-19 to other people. And that's what I wanted because I travel a lot and I want to make sure that I had as much immunity and as much protection for other people as I possibly could. I had it. I was fine. Yeah, some people have it and it's nothing. Like doesn't hurt them. Doesn't anything. It's not a big deal. But yeah. um, but yeah, it's no big deal for some people. Me, I just it almost put me under. Aside from that, is there any other questions, comments, concerns, worries, all any of those things? Mm. Let's see, man. Instead of gun, why not buy paintball guns? I used to have a bunch of paintball guns. Um, being what it is, and you know, it's just a different thing. It's a different thing. It's a different sort of. You could do home defense with them. I think some people did like pepper balls with those, and they worked out pretty well. Or plays paintball with pepper ball. Yeah, yeah, pepper balls. Yeah. Exactly what I was just saying. I didn't even read it, but I knew where your head was going with that. Can't hunt with a paintball gun. No, you can't, but you can hunt with PCP air guns or like pre-compressed something. I forget what the other P stands for, but it's like pre-compressed. Or maybe it's just pre-compressed. Um, and those guns, like the Air Force Texan SS or whatever, shoot very hard. They're enough to take down like large bore deer. I think some people have done some African hunts with like wildebeests and things like that. Really just a lot of stuff they've done with them, and it's crazy. Like I would like to have one, but they're expensive. They're a little over $1,000, maybe more. And then you think about the optics, and you think about having to get a compressor and then an extra tank to take with you, and it's the money starts to add up. But if you got it and you want a neat thing, they can be completely suppressed legally because they're not a firearm. They're not under the control of the ATF. So you can buy suppressors for them the same way that you could buy a suppressor for an airsoft rifle. It's just that these suppressors are custom built for these guns, and they work really, really well. So yeah, you could hunt with a paintball gun if you got enough speed out of it. I suppose you could kind of smooth bore musket the thing with like a ball bearing. But it is what it is. Let's see. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's see. But that's about the time that we've got. What's my opinion on the ATF? I think that they make up rules and then change them whenever they please. I do not necessarily have a great opinion of the ATF anymore. I don't think that they work out really well. Anyway, guys, I think that's probably going to be about as much time as possible that I've got for this. Again, I'm going to do what I can to reach out to Furry Stickers and apologize to the guy, and I think guy, girl, just anything. But I'm gonna reach out to them and try to apologize to them. I don't know if they'll accept it or not, but I will. I've publicly done so, and I will do so. I think they've got a Twitter account, and I'll apologize to them on there, publicly if it all works. I don't know that it will or not, but again, I think that when you do something, that you should take responsibility for it, and that you should try to make as much of an effort as possible to fix problems that you may have caused. So that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I suggest that anyone does. And I hope that my viewers take the lesson from me of when you do something stupid, that you do what you can to fix it. And I may never be able to repair this particular relationship, but I will try. And that's all I can do. So thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys in the next one. You guys take care, be safe out there, and make good choices. Okay? Until next time, I'll see you guys, okay? Goodbye.